Are Liverpool out of the Premier League title race? I think there's a massive argument that Liverpool's form, Liverpool's confidence could be massively rocked by what happened against Spurs yesterday evening by some of the worst refereeing decisions in the history of the Premier League. In this video, I'll break down why, again, I think they were so bad, why I think Liverpool could be hindered, and then, of course, a bit more positivity, why I think actually Liverpool do have still so much quality. I think they displayed a lot of it against Spurs, despite having 9 men. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. Would really appreciate it. Just a quick one upon reflection. If you follow me on Twitter, it's getting a bit ranty on Twitter for me, but it is the worst. I think it's the worst Premier League decision ever made in terms of a refereeing decision in a Premier League game. Diaz being offside, based on the level of experience these referees now have with VAR, based on the technology in a fancy stadium like Tottenham's, you know, built for VAR, built for the modernity of football, and the fact that he's like half a yard onside. I think it's genuinely, there might be, I think there's a few examples. There's one from the 90s where a referee completely disallowed a fair goal, and I think Bolton got relegated or Blackburn got relegated. There's obviously the example when they didn't turn goal line technology on for a game as well. I think that cost someone relegation. But in a Premier League title race, I think we have to say that if Liverpool were to lose the league title this season because of 3 points or that kind of margin, the Spurs-Liverpool game is one of the most consequential games ever in terms of how bad the refereeing performance is. And that's why I've titled the video the way it is. Could it cost them the league title? I think it's a massive argument that Liverpool, I've actually seen Liverpool fans on my videos commenting, and fair play, and they've been saying, I don't want to watch football ever again. I'm not going to follow the rest of the season. Obviously, a lot of it's hyperbole. I'm not saying Liverpool fans aren't going to follow Liverpool anymore, but there's a kind of argument that maybe we just give up on the season, give up on what has completely been stolen from Liverpool, and that isn't far from the mark. The reality of the situation, though, is far different. If Liverpool are going to lose a game unfairly, in my opinion, if they had 11 men, even 10 men, with the Diaz goal, I think they're going to win the game. That's how good I thought they were against Spurs. But if you have to cost Liverpool a fair result, a fair win with good refereeing, if that's going to not happen, at least do it when Man City lose as well. And Man City lost to Wolves. Also lost in the Carabao Cup where Liverpool won. So there's some massive chinks in the armour. So the VAR decision by itself is a massive factor. It's terrible. I really don't think the media are talking about it enough. Maybe I'm just being too Alex Jones about it, but I really think it's the role of the broadcast companies to scrutinise, to examine, to question the PGMOL more than they actually are. But that's just a debate for a different video. Man City lose 2-1 to Wolves, and Liverpool only remain 2 points off City in the Premier League title race. So, on a positive note, on a positive vibe note, Liverpool are more than ready to be in a Premier League title race. The way they performed against Spurs in individual games, they know how to beat City. Klopp knows how to beat Guardiola. It's a massive factor. And then you look at some of the games they've got coming up. Brighton away is hard, but I've just got this feeling they're going to beat Brighton. Brighton obviously got decimated by Aston Villa recently. Liverpool, Everton that have just lost to Luton. Obviously games in the League Cup, Bournemouth and Toulouse in the Europa League. But then Liverpool got Forest at home. They could pick up 9 points and get over those kind of bruises from such terrible refereeing decisions. Pick up 9 points. And City could really, really struggle and drop more points, especially with Arsenal on the horizon. I will be covering obviously Arsenal on the channel, the Arsenal City game. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe for that. I would really appreciate it. So on that level, Liverpool have got some winnable fixtures. It's, you know, Brighton away isn't easy, but then Everton and Forest at home. Mathematically, it gives them the points that will keep them going next to City. I don't know about the Curtis Jones suspension. I'm sure that will be fully upheld. I don't know about the Jota one. I'm guessing that will be upheld as well. So there's 2 big players for Liverpool. But apart from that, looking through the spine of Liverpool's 11 to 10 to 9 that played against Spurs. So through the spine of the Liverpool side, let's just examine just some of the performances against Spurs, because they will get crowded out by the VAR discussion. They'll get crowded out by a completely fair Spurs win. I mean, in terms of if you're a Spurs fan, I'm having Spurs fans slag me off, saying that I don't think Spurs don't deserve the win. If they deserve the win against 11 men or 10 men, all with the Diaz goal standing, then fair enough. I think they do. That could have happened as well. But Spurs absolutely deserved the result. I can't believe people are slagging me off for saying that, especially Spurs fans. They'll get angry at anything Spurs fans. Annoying. But that's not the point. The point is the Spurs result will get talked about. Maddison's performance, fantastic. Richarlison having a go at Klopp. The VAR stuff. But Liverpool's performances individually throughout the side were absolutely electric, in my opinion. Start at the top of the pitch. The way Mohamed Salah was running Spurs ragged at points. I think Udogie did a very good job on him. But still, Mohamed Salah's... He might be the best player in the league right now on form. I really do think he is. He was absolutely scary against Spurs. And it's all relative because he's scary because he's by himself at points. It was almost... What was it? 4-4-1 at points for Liverpool. 4-3-1 even. So Salah had to do a lot by himself. And that fitness that he showed, the furiosity that he displayed was just exquisite. I really do think it was. The midfield, I thought Endo did a really good job coming on, shored things up a little bit. Really, really good. I like him. I think he's been a good addition. McAllister played very, very well. Szoboszlai, maybe a little bit less so than maybe the Aston Villa game, for example, or early in the season. But still fantastic. And then that back line. I think that back line was really resolute. I know Spurs have scored 2 goals, but it just feels in the context of the game that we can't criticise the back line that much. I think Alisson pulled off some unbelievable saves. I think Van Dijk looked much closer to his best. Joe Gomez is the one where I think they're light there. And I know Trent is kind of coming back to full form and fitness in that regard. Joe Gomez is the one, but Andy Robertson was an absolute warrior in that game. And he was absolutely superb. And so was Matip, by the way. I think Matip was really, really good. And he was driving out from centre-half position as well. And actually dictating things and actually getting Liverpool up the pitch. So I think Liverpool, to a man, showed more quality than Spurs. And I think they would have beaten Spurs with 11 men. That's just my opinion. I'm not slagging off Spurs. I'm sure Spurs fans will get irate about that. I think they would have beaten Spurs. And if those performances exist with the likes of Konate coming back in, with the likes of Nunes, Gakpo had a great game as well. Got to mention his goal, great finish. Could have had 2 or 3 against Spurs. All these things combined with the fact that Liverpool got some relatively straightforward fixtures. That is also, this is the kind of reigning factor to talk about for Liverpool. I think they're good when their backs are against the wall. I think they're good when they think everyone's against them. It's little old Liverpool almost being bullied by the London sides, the kind of the southern referees. And I kind of get that. And I kind of back it a little bit. I think if there's one manager that could get irate players who are frustrated and bitter about the result, get them turning around, it would be Jurgen Klopp, 1,000,000%. So that's just my take on it. I think Liverpool are definitely still in the Premier League title race. Very, very keen to see what you think in the comments down below. Because the reality of the situation is Liverpool are still a great side with a world-class manager. And they've nearly been robbed of a serious title charge. I think it would be even bigger if City had won. But the fact City lose, the fact Liverpool got so much quality, so many players in form, I don't think it changes anything. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll see you very, very soon.